Hello, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about The Dark Knight, and this is a very well-known film. And as I said before, I don't like comic book films. And this is a frustrating film for me, because I don't like comic book films. But this film, I think, had a lot of potential. Had a lot of very interesting, sort of almost philosophical themes, but there's also a lot of issues with it that I have, and I don't think enough people talk about that. I think it's a very overrated film. It's like number 3 on IMDb, just below I think Shawshank Redemption and The Godfather. I don't think, definitely don't think it should be that high at all. I heard someone the other day say it was the greatest film ever made. That's absolutely wild to me. I think it's far from being the greatest film ever made. But before I get into why I think it's overrated and what issues I have with The Dark Knight, I will show you this Blu-ray I have here. This is a weird Blu-ray. So this is the front. The film is a 12, and I think we'll go into the what the age rating looks like on the back. It does say a Christopher Nolan film there, The Dark Knight. I'm not the biggest fan of Christopher Nolan. A lot of people love Christopher Nolan. Oh no, I think well, I'll go into why I'm not the biggest fan. There's the spine, Warner Brothers, the Blu-ray, and then there's the back. 12 contains strong fantasy violence and sustained threat. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair rating. A lot of people think it should be a 15. I don't know about that. So this Blu-ray, this is where it gets weird. So they gave me a DVD copy of the film. I actually think, I think I must have gotten a foreign copy, because look, this is all in some kind. Is that Russian? No, not Russian. Is it Greek or something? I don't know. And then they have special features, and this is the actual Blu-ray. And again, this is in a foreign language, so I don't know. That rating says 15. The second rating says 15. I think a 12 is fair though. I don't think there's too much. That's the Joker. I guess there's some frightening scenes, and that's probably the most that is kind of explicit in this film. But that's about it. So there's that. Let me get into why I don't like what my problems with The Dark Knight are. And there are a few. But first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of Christopher Nolan, because I feel that this film doesn't really fall into this, but a lot of his films do, especially Inception and Interstellar, where he has a fun idea, a cool idea, but he goes too far with it to the point where it gets really silly at the end, especially with Interstellar. Like, you think about it, at the end, the guy, he goes into a black hole, time travels, and then turns into a bookcase, and then sees his daughter and tries to convince her that he's not supposed to go. It's just like, what does this film become? What is this? So I have that's my problems with Christopher Nolan. But yeah, this film, first problem, and I've heard a lot of people say this: Christian Bale, who plays Batman in this, I feel like his voice, right? A lot of people talk about the voice. His voice gets sillier and sillier the more you go into the Dark Knight trilogy. His voice really is like a gravelly, really overly gravelly voice he has, and it sounds like he's trying to do an impression of Batman, or like making fun of the character, mocking them, instead of actually playing the character. So, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that, and it doesn't seem believable. It just seems a bit cringe. Another problem I had with this is so I really liked the mob stuff. In the first 40 minutes of the film, they have the mob and Harvey Dent, Gordon, and Batman. They're trying to take down the mob. That stuff's really interesting. What I don't like is, after that 40 minutes, they have a whole period of the rest of the film up until they catch the Joker is so repetitive. It's literally just the Joker saying, oh, I'm gonna do this, like some terrible things. Says, I'm gonna do this, and then Lieutenant Gordon and Batman rush to stop him. It's entirely repetitive. It goes on for like an hour and a half. Especially because I really like the first 40 minutes or so with the mob stuff, and then the ending is good. I like the ending, just the repetitiveness. And one of the things I don't like about superhero films is I feel like they're all kind of the same movie. So they follow a very strict formula of like good guy sees good guy doesn't like bad guy. They good guy wants peace, bad guy wants war. They fight, good guy wins, and this follows us pretty closely. Besides, like you could argue that the bad guy wins in the end, right? But besides that, it is a pretty straightforward good versus bad story. But another problem I had with this was I feel like Batman Begins builds Bruce Wayne as a character so much, and more than any other a Batman film, any other Batman films, just like Bruce Wayne, they don't care about him. He's just a side character in Batman's story. But Batman Begins really focused on Bruce Wayne and the psychology of him, made him a two-dimensional, no, not two-dimensional, a interesting character, rather than just being your average superhero goody guy. And they did nothing with Batman in The Dark Knight at all. He just doesn't do anything. He's a side character in his own story. They sideline him for Harvey Dent and the Joker. I think it's like it's really disappointing to see they just don't do anything with this character. He's just this billionaire as Bruce Wayne, and he's just a smart guy as Batman. They don't do anything with his. He doesn't have any, like, you know. I guess he has the. Oh, should have turned myself in, but that's like. I don't know, it's like 5 minutes long. No, it's like even shorter. It doesn't end up turning himself in. He's like, oh, what should I do? Oh, I guess I'll just. And another problem I have with this Joker, right? And Nolan does this a lot. It's kind of annoying. He has the smart people doing really dumb things thing. A lot of films have that. Where in this, right, the Joker that they know has murdered someone already says, "Oh, I'm gonna kill everyone every day that Batman doesn't turn himself in." So Bruce Wayne, Batman, a billionaire, decides to throw a party at his penthouse with loads of people, like all the citizens of Gotham. What does he do? The time and the place, and they were like surprised when it went wrong with Harvey Dent. But just why? After it, they just don't care. The first time he actually said, "Oh, I'm gonna kill people," they was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." And then they have they do it again. So this one's even more stupid. The Joker, who they've known has killed people, has killed the commissioner. They know he's a very dangerous man, and he's hinted at the fact that he's killed a judge, he's killed a commissioner. They know he's a dangerous man. They know he's willing to kill people, and he's hinted at killing the mayor. So they decide to have a parade in the middle of Gotham where the mayor, Harvey Dent, is. The two people he's hinted at killing, and then they're surprised when things go wrong. What? These are like Commissioner Gordon, he's a smart guy, Batman, smart guy, and they do it anyway in broad daylight. I just think it's just a bit of a, it's one of those films like you watch it and it's like, oh yeah, that's good because it's really fast paced, right? The Dark Knight is incredibly fast paced, so it's able to like blind you from the problems at first. But when you think about it for more than a minute, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I feel like that with like the Star Wars movies and a lot of fantasy movies. The film gets less interesting when you actually think about what's going on, because when you actually think about what's going on, you realize how silly it is. So, wasn't yeah, I don't like that. I have a lot of problems with this. Bell's voice, repetitiveness, sidelining Batman, the weird dumb characters, dumb things done by smart characters. That which is a real shame because I really like some of the messages this film has. I just think I can't. It's not enough. It's not good enough to for me to be able to overlook the the glaring problems with this film. Um, I feel like this film is summed up pretty well by the scene of in the hospital where Joker takes his mask off and then Harvey sees him. That's a really stupid scene. I hate that scene. He has the like face mask on and he takes it off and Harvey Dent is only able to realize it's Joker when he sees his smile. It's a really stupid scene. I get that's a bit nitpicky. It's not. Well, that's not one of the reasons why I think the film's slightly overrated. I just think that's a silly scene. But it's kind of like the whole film is kind of like that. On face value, it seems good, but when you really look into it and you really think about it, there are a lot of problems with it, and it's not as great. And I definitely don't think it's as good as everyone says. I think, yeah, 6 out of 10, mediocre, not good, not great, not bad, mediocre. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah.